That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction
Mondays.
Monday.
Let's do it.
All right, Rich Eisen, are you ready?
I can feel it.
I could feel it. Our first ever international edition of Overreaction Monday. Okay, I know you said you only watched, the first half of the first quarter last night on Sunday night?
I watched it live before going to sleep. I have since, because I'm a lead pipe wielding professional, since watched the contest.
I'm not sure if you have watched the whole thing. So you do know the final score was 42-10.
Yes, I do.
Rich, the Super Bowl is the 49ers to lose. 49ers to lose. They are now the betting favorite in Las Vegas.
Statement. Oh, man. I've been calling them the best team in the NFL. We're not there yet. We're just not there yet. It's still too much time. It's still just week 5, Chris. It's still just week 5. Injuries happen. We just talked about how the Bills came in on a 3-game win streak, and then they left with Matt Milano getting carted off. They're playing like the Super Bowl favorites. That I can say. But theirs to lose because no one else can beat them. They're the only ones that can beat themselves. I can't say it. I need to see them against Philadelphia later this year. I need to see who they're going to face in the AFC and the Super Bowl. I need to see it. So right now I'll call that an overreaction. That's a very strong way to begin.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised. You've been all in on the Niners and Brock
Well, I know
Purdy
that, but it's just things can change. It's theirs to lose. Right now they are playing the best in the NFL, and they just curb stomped one of the best in the NFL up to this point. So I understand where you're going, but I'll just call it an overreaction for the moment.
All right. Did you see what went on in South Florida yesterday?
I did.
They've got a lot of fast players playing for the Dolphins. That's an understatement. The next gen, they have numbers 1 through 7 on the fastest plays of the year. De'Von Achane had a 22-mile-an-hour speed on his 76-yard touchdown run. De'Von Achane, he's only played, a game and a half, it feels like? He's second in the NFL in rushing yards behind Christian McCaffrey.
You know what he's averaging?
Per carry?
Per carry.
38 yards a carry?
12 yards a carry.
That's insane. Rich, De'Von Achane, so let me get his name right. De'Von Achane,
yes.
He's going to lead the NFL in rushing yards this year.
Oh, man. I'll call that an overreaction. I thought you'd say he's the offensive rookie of the year.
I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion at this point.
Is it? I mean, C.J. Stroud up until yesterday was doing things that very few quarterbacks have done. He still hasn't thrown an interception.
Rich, he's going to lead the NFL in rushing. He has 460 yards on only 38 attempts in 4 games.
Achane may wind up, I guess Tyreek Hill would be the offensive player of the year from that team, if that's who it is. I'll still need to see McCaffrey, whatever. I still think that that's an overreaction, too, that he's going to lead the league in rushing. But being the offensive rookie of the year is not an overreaction. I think he'd be that guy. And it's kind of crazy that a running back in this league would be the offensive rookie of the year. And the offensive player of the year could be a running back in San Francisco, and which both prove the points that everyone's saying. That running backs deserve to be paid what they deserve to be paid because they're that valuable, and that you can you don't have to pay running backs because somebody can come out of college and just do what De'Von Achane is doing. So it's fascinating. I'll call that an overreaction.
A guy who barely played in the preseason. I don't even know if he got drafted in most fantasy leagues.
He got hurt in the preseason, too.
He's just crushing it.
I know, and I drafted him and then released him because he wasn't playing.
Come on. Hold on, you released him?
Oh, no.
Yep, that's the first turn down service I refused.
Well done. You are a wordsmith, Mr. Eisen. Okay, Rich, I saw a stat yesterday. This is going to be me venting about the Pats for a second. Mac Jones already has 4 pick sixes at home in less than 3 seasons. Tom Brady had 4 his entire career with New England.
Yeah.
It's really bad. He's really terrible. He's been benched now 2 straight games, even though Bill still says he's a starter. Forget the Jets. The Patriots are the ones who should trade for Kirk Cousins this year.
No, I think that I'll say that's an overreaction. And because I think your season's
over,
not salvageable. Yeah, I think at this point in time, you're getting close to having 4 wins in the first 5 weeks and looking as bad as you've looked, at home, on the road, offensively. You know what? The thing that's kind of crazy too is what's happened in their run game? You know what I mean?
Where is Ramondre Stevenson?
Ramondre Stevenson, it was a business decision out of the backfield every single time he touched it last year, and I thought him with Zeke would just be multiple business decisions. Mac can't throw it deep, so that you can't do anything right now. I'd be sitting here and I start thinking about Caleb if I were you, but like that,
Any of them.
you know, honestly,
Drake May,
like, and if
Michael
Bill-
Penix, Caleb, any one of them.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the whole. Well, we'll talk about it a little later when we're talking about the Patriots, but I'll call that an overreaction and ask you to move on.
Did you see the slobber knocker in Pittsburgh yesterday?
I did.
There's just the Ravens on the offense. It looks something's not going. I'm going to say the Ravens offense right now is broken as we know it.
Ooh. No.
What do you mean by broken? What do you mean by that?
I mean, not functioning like a team you want to see that you might think could win a playoff game.
How about this? I'll say that well, I think they can win a playoff game. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to. I will say this, that I can't wait to see them here. You know, when we talk with them later this week, they're arriving. By the way, unlike the Bills arriving Friday of that week, they're arriving today. They're coming in tonight. They're spending the whole week here, like old school London week type material, where they're going to spend the whole week here. But I'm just stunned that it looks similar to what's been going on before, you know, in terms of the points, in terms of the efficiency.
And that's kind of what I mean, because like you bring in Todd Monken, you got all these new receivers.
Yeah,
I just thought
doesn't
they
look
were going
much
to be
different to me.
kind of high flying and winging. I mean, it doesn't help that they can't catch the ball. Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar.
But if by
dropping
saying
touchdowns.
broken, you can't put it back together, I'll call that an overreaction. But the offense is definitely sputtering to the point where it does appear fractured. I'll call that as I see it there for sure. Yeah.
All right, two more. And I apologize to TJ on the front end of this one.
Oh,
Dak's best days as Cowboys quarterback are behind him.
Ooh.
that's an overreaction. I can't believe that yet. What happened 2 weeks ago? What happened week one? What happened? Come on now. Come on.
But was Dak making plays? Was he winging it around and getting them in the end zone and the red zone? I mean, come on.
His days of 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns accounting for 4, like a Josh Allen type game, 5 touchdowns accounting for. I would say yes, those days are over.
He can't run. He's not using his feet to get first downs and move the chains.
I will say that. But his best days as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, he could still be a guy that you can win a Super Bowl with. I mean, my gosh. I mean, really.
Do we miss Kellen Moore?
I don't know if you miss. You know who you miss? I'll tell you who you miss. You miss Amari Cooper. That's who you miss.
Yeah, well.
You miss
Second
somebody like
receiver,
Zeke.
yeah.
That's what you miss. You miss, honestly. Who's scaring you? If you lock up CeeDee Lamb, you're concerned Gallup's going to beat you deep? Brandon Cook's going to beat you deep? What are you concerned? Turpin, who looks like he's out for 6 weeks? I mean, nobody's circling anybody on that Cowboys team other than Pollard and CeeDee Lamb, and Pollard hasn't had those big, huge breaking runs, and part of that might be is because he's being used differently, and he's the lead back in a way that, you got to figure out other ways to maybe get him loose. So maybe that's it. Sure, the Kellen Moore had an opportunity to do that, but Amari Cooper, man,
16th in passing yards. He's 20th in passer rating. He has only 5 touchdowns on the season.
Chris,
What's your last one?
Randy Moss said he still had a few red zone touchdowns left. Maybe we should get on the phone and call 84.
That would be bad.
Last one, Rich. I know you saw the college scores over the weekend. We are heading for a Georgia-Michigan national championship battle royale.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah. That's not an overreaction at all. At all.
Both
I'll
put
tell you
50
one thing that I was
out
doing
there on Saturday.
I'll
Woo!
tell you one thing I was doing during the meeting on Saturday night. We had a meeting at, what would that be, 2:00 Eastern, 7:00 local here in London. I was monitoring those Maryland Terrapins. I was getting ready.
So close.
Oh,
Could have been 14-0, dropped a touchdown.
I had the Breaking Bad Tortuga memes, with a head on the back of a turtle. I had it all ready.
So close.
Danny Trejo.
Buckeyes head to West Lafayette to get the Boilers noon Eastern on Peacock coming up on Saturday.
Let me tell you something. By the way, I saw this. I saw that Michigan versus Michigan State is going to be on NBC on a Saturday night. They moved that to a night game. Oh, baby. That is going to, I tweeted out that dinner's going to be the Sparty and a nice Chianti. That is going to be awesome in front of everybody to see the dismantling that is coming to East Lansing. Oh, I cannot wait. And I can't, as you know, I don't usually talk this sort of smack, but I'm doing it right now.
With your chest.
That said, that's not an overreaction, baby. They are the two best teams. We're seeing it.
Oh,
you tell me, am I wrong?
100%.
Okay, thank you.
100%.
Ohio State would like a seat at the table. They get Purdue this week,
they would.
and
We'll
then
see.
they get Penn State on Fox at noon next week.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
buddy.
see. And Michigan's got a gauntlet at Penn State, at Maryland, home for Ohio State before all that. That said, I don't think that's an overreaction at all.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.